Hi, we're just coming to the end of an amazing 3 weeks in New Zealand, and we just want to share with you some of our pictures and our experiences of our time in this wonderful country.
It's not like England, it's very different.
Yeah, like the city, and then travelled north from Auckland up onto the west coast. We've got a picture of us here sitting inside a huge kauri tree. These are really, really old trees, and this one was in a museum. And then we crossed over to the Bay of Islands. Then we made our way back down to Rotorua. There's a picture of a geyser which we saw, and it's really amazing around Rotorua, and it's not as smelly as everybody thinks it is.
Wellington.
Yeah.
And actually had a tour around the Parliament building.
Oh yeah, that was quite interesting. Yeah.
And a look at the
Te Papa Museum, which is really interesting, all about New Zealand and about the Maori history and about the glaciers and the earthquakes and everything else. Then we crossed over to the South Island and
we headed
on a ferry.
Then we caught the train from Picton down to Kaikoura to go whale watching.
When this sperm whale dived and his tail came up, and it's just the most amazing experience to see this huge creature in the wild like that. And then we had a whole pod of 80 odd dolphins which we saw, so that made up for not seeing them on the on our other trip. And they did their antics and bounced up and down and did cartwheels and things, and they were amazing. That was the wildlife of New Zealand. And then where did we go from there?
We got to Greymouth and we decided we would take the car up to Pancake Rocks. They're an amazing set of rocks.
And there's a blowhole, but the sea wasn't strong enough at that point for the water to come up through the rocks. So that was a pretty amazing view, wasn't it?
Yep.
And then the next day we were travelling down the west coast, which should have been amazing, but it chucked it down all day. So we didn't really see the amazing mountains that we should have seen. We stopped off at Ross, which is it was a gold mining town, and now they've got an interesting small museum and a walk round, and it's not really commercialised like Shantytown. And then we stopped off at Bushman's Cafe. Yeah. And the guy that owns that has just got this amazing sense of humour and all these quirky signs written around and everything. And Neil had, what did you have? You had roadkill rabbit, didn't you?
Yes, yeah,
rabbit pie. And then we went into the museum, which was really interesting and fun. So that's a quirky place to stop. We had salmon sandwiches for lunch at the fish farm.
That was further down.
That was further down?
That was after Fox's Glacier.
Oh, was that after that? Yeah. Oh dear, I keep getting mixed up.
We stayed at Fox's Glacier. We went on a helicopter ride, the only one of the day that actually landed on the glacier because, unfortunately, again, it was raining. We moved from Fox's down through the Hass Pass along to Wanaka, where we spent another night. It was a fantastic lake in Wanaka. And we've moved from there down to Arrowtown and along to the shot over jet.
Oh yes, there's life in the old dog's jet, because we did the shot over jet. And if you think at our age you can't have adventure, you can, because the shot over jet was fantastic fun. There you are.
And then on to Queenstown. In Queenstown we actually had a guest house which was up on the hills overlooking the Remarkables. It was an incredible view, and from there, one of our main trips from there was to Milford Sound. We actually got to Milford Sound in the sunshine, so we saw the Sound in all its sort of glory. The waterfalls and the mist was absolutely spectacular. The only problem was the Tasman Sea was pretty rough. So we didn't actually get too far out of the calm waters of Milford Sound, but it was an incredible experience.
And Dave, our captain, took the little boat right up and under the waterfalls. He did it twice, and the second time I stood on the deck and hung on, and I didn't dare let go because all this water was pouring down on top of me and I was getting absolutely soaked. But the force of the water and the experience, it was just amazing. And Neil stayed in the cabin and was a wimp and didn't come out and didn't even take my photograph. So Milford Sound was well worth doing, but doing it as an overnighter so that you get the best of both. And the guy that went down with us, Ben, the coach driver, was saying that actually if you see it in the sunshine it's not enough, you need to see it in all the mist and all the mystery of it. So we had it both ways, and that was terrific.
We then moved from Queenstown over to the Otago
Peninsula down near Dunedin.
Yeah, and we went to have a look at the albatrosses. We were very fortunate that we probably saw about 20 flights. We don't think there was 20 birds there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And also there was a colony of seals on the rocks. Again, I think we've got a picture of one of those in the portfolio. We think there was a sea lion there that had actually taken one of the pups, so and was eating it for its dinner. But that was quite a spectacular event.
Yeah.
Now,
we called into Dunedin because of our Scottish history, and it is the Scottish bit of South Island. And what can we say about Dunedin? We weren't there very long, were we?
No.
called in at the train station, which is absolutely amazing, very over the top building, and then we wandered on and made our way to Twizel.
Spent the night, and we've now come up to Mount Cook. We've actually just got off a helicopter flight up the Tasman Glacier with some absolutely spectacular views of Mount Cook. Again, you'll see a picture of it on that portfolio.
And we saw the icebergs in the Tasman Sea, didn't we, which was amazing.
So that now brings you virtually right up to date. We're heading from here this afternoon back to Christchurch and then flying home.
Yeah. And we've had the most really interesting accommodation. Neil booked all the accommodation. We stayed in bed and breakfast so we could meet the New Zealand people, and we just stayed in such interesting places. We were in a 100-year-old cottage in Kaikoura, run by a Dutchman, but a super little spot to stay. The one in Wellington had the most panoramic view of the mountains, of the remarkables in the lake.
No, it's not Wellington.
That was
Queen. You keep on getting it wrong. But if you want to find out about accommodation in New Zealand, have a look at the New Zealand Tourist Board website. That's where I picked up all these amazing places you can actually stay. It's well worth it.
And just come to. We've had 3 weeks here and we think we've seen a lot, but there's still so much more to see. And for those that think New Zealand is like England and it's not worth coming to, you're just dead wrong. And you've just got to come to New Zealand because it's just the most amazing place, and everybody's really friendly, and they haven't got this all the health and safety doesn't seem to be such as much an issue here. You've got a real let's go and do something and sort things out and have a good time. And it's just an amazing place, so you've just got to come and see it for yourselves.
Right.
But to Ian and Paul, come and see it, but don't stay because it's too far away from England. Okay, we finished.
Edit.